Hey guys, David here, and I want to talk about this little movie that's coming out called Ghostbusters because there was some critic on the internet recently who said he's not gonna go watch Ghostbusters, the new one, because of how awful the trailers have looked. And I wanted to come to this movie's defense a little bit, I guess. I'm gonna first say that the trailers have not impressed me at all. I'm gonna admit, like, yeah, the trailers have sucked. The third trailer, the one that came out recently, I guess, the one with the Ghostbusters theme, I thought maybe that was a little bit cool. I don't know if it's because maybe the Ghostbusters theme was in there and it made it a little bit more enjoyable. But for whatever it's worth, I thought, okay, it looks a little bit better this time. That doesn't mean I think the movie's going to be great. I still think it has a big chance to be awful. But I think people are jumping the gun when they're saying, I'm not going to go see this movie at all right now. Because I feel like sometimes trailers can be misleading. Sometimes there's movies where some movies have had great trailers, and then the movie ends up sucking. Let's say what's a good movie I can use as an example? I don't know. Everybody was looking forward to Batman v Superman before that came out. And look how the audience reaction was to that. The movie got a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. It wasn't really loved like Captain America: Civil War is loved right now, with critics and fans. So, and that had amazing trailers, and I like the movie. As someone one of the people that enjoyed that movie, I loved the trailers and I enjoyed the movie. Yeah, okay, it wasn't as good as it could have been that the trailers made it seem like it was going to be, but I feel like it had amazing trailers, and from what the trailers were showing us, the movie didn't live up to that hype. As we all, even the people that liked it, can admit that, yeah, okay, it didn't live up to the hype that we were hoping for. And then here's an example of a movie that had really bad trailers and turned out to be a really good movie. Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. I thought that was a great example of a movie that had terrible trailers, because I remember not even being impressed. And the only reason I went to go see Edge of Tomorrow in theaters is because I heard reviews were actually really good. And I said, well, okay, if people are saying it's really good, why don't I go check it out and think for myself, what do I think of it? And I love that movie. I think Edge of Tomorrow is a great film, and I'm glad that people listen to reviews for that one to help the film do good in the box office, And I hope that this is the case with Ghostbusters. I hope the trailers are just awful, but I hope that the movie itself might actually be pretty decent, because some people have been saying, who know Paul Feig, his films. I haven't watched any Paul Feig films, I'm going to admit that. Not because I don't want to, but because I just never gotten around to them. And a lot of people say his movies have always had really bad trailers. So that kind of makes me think, well, maybe Ghostbusters has potential to be good then. Maybe this is just falling in line with all of his other films, that maybe, this movie has had a lot of flack going for it since day one. I think a lot of people were hating the idea of a female Ghostbusters. I know there are a lot of people that hate that idea. I don't know why. I was open to it as long as they're funny female actresses, and it looks like they got some really good talent. These actresses are known to be very funny. Some of them were from SNL, Saturday Night Live. Some of them, I believe Melissa McCarthy is known to be a comedic actress. Now, she has a couple of bombs here and there, but she also has some funny ones, and usually the ones that people say that her funniest films are with director Paul Feig. So I'm willing to give this movie a chance still, and I think people shouldn't jump on this bandwagon because it's the cool thing to do. Let's face it, that's what it seems like right now. It seems like a lot of people are just hating on Ghostbusters right now, this new Ghostbusters movie, because it's the cool thing to do. That's the way I see it. That's the way I feel. Not everybody. I'm not saying everybody. Some people might actually not like the trailers, and it's really turning them off. I'll agree with that. If that's the case, then that's cool. But I think there's some people. Some people probably didn't even watch the last trailer. They just gave it a dislike. I've seen some people comment on that trailer video, the last one, where they didn't. I just came here to dislike. Like that's all they said. So I think that's kind of a little bit of proof that there are people thinking that way. And I seen a video from Screen Junkies recently where they kind of defended the movie a little bit the way I am right now, that I am someone that doesn't judge a movie until I see it. An example of that is the Twilight films, I had heard how bad these Twilight movies are. And, I wanted to joke around and jump on the bandwagon too. But I said, you know what, I gotta at least watch the first one, so that way at least I have a voice, a real voice in what I'm talking about. And so I checked out the Twilight film, the first one, and I vowed never to watch any of the other Twilight films ever again, because the first one was so terrible. So, guys, all I'm just saying is if you are a subscriber to me, please listen to me on this. Watch the movie first, then decide. Or, even better, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be waiting for the reviews to come out first. Right now, I'm on the edge of, I want to support this movie, but so far the trailers aren't impressing me. So the thing that I'm going to wait for now is to see how the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb or whatever turn out to be. Because maybe the critics will say, hey guys, guess what? This movie is actually really surprisingly good. Go check it out. And so that's what I think a lot of you guys should do. If you are unsure about this movie, wait for the reviews to come out. The reviews might change our minds. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. So guys, tell me what you think. Do you agree with me on this? Do you think that we should just wait for the reviews from critics who are going to see the movie in advance? For sure they'll tell us what they think of it. You know what will be another sign that this movie sucks? If you really want to know if this movie is going to suck or not, if Sony holds back the reviews until the movie comes out. If the movie comes out and like the day the movie drops and the reviews are only allowed to be released that day, that's how you know this movie is going to suck big time. Because usually a movie studio with a lot of confidence in their film will allow critics to release their reviews a week or more in advance. Look at Marvel recently with Captain America Civil War. They released the reviews 3 or 4 weeks before the movie even came out, and the movie lived up to that hype. Batman v Superman, I think they waited a week for the reviews, but at least they showed confidence in Batman v Superman. So you got to show Warner Brothers a little bit of credit on that. And then now recently, X-Men Apocalypse released their reviews this past week. 2 weeks in advance before X-Men Apocalypse comes out. Okay, it's not getting the best reviews, but hey, 51% ain't that bad. I think, Man of Steel also got 53%, and I loved Man of Steel. I think it's an underrated film from critics. And so let's wait and give this movie a chance. And I'm ending this here, guys. Like this video if you agree with me. Subscribe to my channel. Spread this video around and get people to try to get people on that same page, because I think some people are being a little unfair with this movie right now. I agree it has bad trailers, but come on. Let's give it a chance. Let's give it the benefit of a doubt. I'm always rooting for the underdog. Sometimes I'm usually let down, like Fantastic Four last year. I was hoping that movie would prove everybody wrong, and it turned out to be a piece of shit. So maybe this will be like that, maybe it won't. Let's give it a chance. Check out my podcast where I talk a little bit about it as well there too, and as well as other news items. Subscribe to my, I said that already. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. You know the drill. Take care, guys.